welcome to another mini episode of the Speak English with a British Accent podcast. Let's start the week with a listening exercise and a quick tip to help you say those Aya words. But first, Section 1. How not to sound like an interrogator in small talk. Are you worried that your small talk can unintentionally slip into an interrogation? Will your enthusiasm get the better of you? Well, fear not. Here's some tips so your chat stays the right line of conversation rather than interrogation. 1. Avoid asking too many questions. While it's natural to ask questions in conversation, try to balance your questions with statements and comments of your own. This can help to avoid making the conversation feel too one-sided or overly focused on the other person. 2. Show interest in the other person. Instead of just asking questions, try to show genuine interest in the other person and their experiences. You can do this by nodding, making eye contact, and making supportive comments. 3. Keep the conversation light. Small talk is meant to be casual and light, so try to avoid delving into heavy or controversial subjects. Instead, focus on topics that are easy to discuss and that both parties can enjoy. 4. Avoid interrupting. It's important to allow the other person to speak and to finish their thoughts without interrupting. This can help to make the conversation feel more natural and less like an interview. And finally, number 5, be open to sharing. While small talk is not meant to be overly personal, it's important to be open to sharing information about yourself and your experiences. This can help to create a sense of balance and mutual exchange in the conversation. And if you'd prefer your small talk to sound distinctly British, why not join my British Accent bundle? You know, you can still make an offer on the price if you're unable to stretch to the full £99. learningbritishaccent.com/bundle is the place to go. Section 2. A listening exercise. News article. So in this section, it's a listening and comprehension exercise. I've recorded an old news article from the BBC website, which I'd like you to listen to. Now, to test your understanding, I've got a number of questions for you to keep in mind as you play the audio recording. I'll put the link to the audio as well as the questions in the show notes. I'll do a quick rundown of the questions here now. 1. What reasons does Ayla Skinner give for why her witchcraft feels empowering to her? Secondly, according to the article, how has TikTok changed access to witchcraft and the way it's practiced? 3. What does Frankie Castanea say about the term witch and how it's used across different cultures? 4. How is witchcraft perceived differently in Europe compared to Africa, according to Dr Isak Niehaus? And finally, what does Ayla say about Hollywood and Disney's portrayal of witches, and how does she contrast it with her own view? Now, there's no need to treat this like an exam. Just keep an ear out to see if you can hear any information that could fit any of these questions. So let's go and listen to WitchTok. WitchTok. The witchcraft videos with billions of views. Written by Claire Jones. When you think of TikTok, dance challenges, comedy creations, and the latest earworms probably spring to mind. But one of the latest trends is focus more on spells, potions, and prophecies. Witchcraft. Videos with the hashtag WitchTok have amassed more than 30 billion views and has made it easier for would-be witches to learn about it. Creators say it's bringing the community closer than ever before. TikTok's witch hashtag has received nearly 20 billion views. Hashtag WitchTikTok has nearly 2 billion views. And hashtag BabyWitch, a hashtag for those new to the craft, has more than 600 million views. Ayla Skinner, known as Witch in the Wilderness on TikTok, lives in Cornwall and has amassed followers by performing what she describes as spells and magic. She says it makes her feel empowered. Witchcraft, paganism, it all gives you a bit of control back. You can live your life how you want. I live my life magically. I do magic every day. It gives people a real sense of individuality and the power to do things themselves, she says. Ayla believes TikTok has enabled people of all ages and from around the world to be part of the witchcraft community. Witchcraft years ago, you had to find a coven, get initiated and trained. Now you can go to your local bookstore and grab a witchcraft book or book about crystals, she says. TikTok has changed the way we practice witchcraft. It's so acceptable now to learn from social media. WitchTok content includes live streaming tutorials, educational videos, and documenting the day-to-day lives of witches. Frankie Castanea is from the USA and identifies as a gender-fluid Italian-American folk witch. Frankie has 1.4 million followers through their Chaotic Witch Aunt TikTok page and has amassed more than 90 million likes through sharing content about witchcraft. The 24-year-old said witchcraft in different cultures has different connotations. Witchcraft is not a religion, it's a belief, it's a spiritual practice. The term witch is one people elect to use themselves. It's so broad and encompasses so many traditions. Witchcraft can have connotations of the dark arts, but Ayla believes magic can be quite misunderstood. Hollywood and Disney have created this very dark, very evil character, which isn't necessarily true, she said. Professor Diane Purkis from the University of Oxford is the author of A Witch in History. She's examined the scepticism surrounding witchcraft, which she calls one of the oldest human societies. There are witches in classical times, in Greek and Roman literature, she says. Historically, witchcraft was viewed as an explanation of sudden and unexpected ill fortune, such as the death of a child or a bad harvest. Dr Isak Niehaus, senior lecturer at Brunel University, London, specialises in African witchcraft and says it's a form many people around the world still believe to be true. In Europe, witchcraft is seen more as the use of magical powers for any kind of purpose, largely for healing, he says, whereas in Africa, envious and jealous people use witchcraft in the purpose of harm. In Africa, no one would own up to being a witch. The practice of witchcraft is secret and operated at night in hidden locations. Their identity is always concealed, he said. But Ayla believes the growing popularity of witchcraft is here to stay. Just like nature has light and dark, so does witchcraft. And it's how you choose to use the light and the dark, she adds. Section 3. How to say player without sounding like an American footballer. Let's face it, most non-native speakers end up sounding quite American when they say the words player, payer, grayer. You hear player. We hear, oh dear. Now here's how to fix it. In RP British English, these words end in a very specific diphthong, followed by the schwa sound. That's the magical lazy vowel that makes Brits sound relaxed and effortlessly posh. Let's break it down. A as in play, is the diphthong. A. You move your mouth as you produce this sound. Then is the schwa sound. It's soft, quick, and never stressed. Put them together and you get ayer, ayer. Let's put them in the words. Player, player, payer, payer, greyer, greyer. So there's no harsh R sound at the end and no cowboy twang. Let's practice this line. The greyer player was the better payer. The greyer player was the better payer. Say it a couple of times to practice. It's subtle, elegant, and very BBC. Want your entire pronunciation to sound more British? The British Accent Bundle teaches all the vowels, the consonants, these diphthong sounds, and connected speech, so you can sound like a true RP speaker without overthinking it. Go to learningbritishaccent.com/bundle and join now. Thanks for listening. If you do enjoy the show, please do give it a 5-star rating. You can also make a donation through the links in the show notes. And of course, you can get further British accent training with my British Accent Bundle at learningbritishaccent.com/bundle. In the meantime, have a great week. I'll see you on the next show. Bye for now.